So finally we're on to the last of our sort of high-end diagnostic features within the Switchbox range. So this is the DXP, and this is the DXP PST Hart 7 or the ESD PST Hart 7 device. And what we've got here is a TREX. So the TREX is a handheld communicator, and what that enables us to do is to read the heart signal. So what I'm going to do, and this takes a little bit of time, I may fast forward some of these these videos on this point. So first of all, I'm going to enable the heart on the TREX device. So this is a field communicator. So again, much the same as any rose mount transmitter or any Fisher DVC, it's connected in a similar way. So we connect the two wires to the TREX device. We have to enable power from the transmitter. And again, because this is an Emerson device, the way it will appear on a TREX and also on a Delta V DCS or AMS system is exactly the same. So the configuration, the way that you enable or disable any of the alarms or you set any of the parameters is exactly the same on all the devices. So whether this is as I say, a rose mount transmitter, a DVC, etc., it's all the same. So what you have is an overview diagnostic state of what position the valve is in. And again, with this device, we also have a similar module. So this is a digital display module. And again, on this module, what you're able to do is you're able to go through the menu directly on the device. So again, during maintenance, you're able to do this. And from the menu, you can set the calibration, and you can also initiate the partial stroke test. So I'm just going to do that now. So I'm going to initial the partial stroke test. Are you sure? So again, that's as previously described in the last video. Customers, what they'll need to do is that these are emergency shutdown valves and they need to be always open or always closed. And what you need to do is you need to prove that over a period of time, because that valve's always in the open or closed state, that if it is has to be enabled, that it's actually moving, so it comes off its seat, etc. Now there's two ways to do that. So the first way is obviously, as I've just explained, by the control panel inside or from the DCS. Or you also have on the outside a padlockable button that you can initiate the partial stroke test on the button. Now if we have a look at some of the diagnostic features, again there's lots more diagnostic features than the initial Hart 7 device. I will explain as well what we have with this device is that we have the ability to have an ARCS or an advanced control system within the Switchbox. So just over on the other side here, we have an example of an ASCO ARCS. So this is a 2 out of 2 system. So we've got two valves, and the way that that operates is that you power both devices, and if one of the devices fails, it goes to the next device and ensures that the system is completely open all the time. Within the Hart 7 ESD, we can actually put 2 solenoid valves inside there. So we've got one solenoid valve there, and we can also do another solenoid valve on certain designs. And what that enables you to have is, again, a 2 out of 2 system within the device. I'm just going to show you maybe some of the diagnostic features that you can see. So if we look at, service tools, and if we look at some of the alerts, this is the way that you're able to set up the alerts and to look at some of the alerts. If we look at maintenance, we can calibrate it from there, and we're able to look at the trends as well, the different positions, etc. So you're able to see some of the diagnostic features on the device. And again, if we look at more, we can have a look at some of the device information, identification. We can change the tags. Again, a useful feature with the Hart 7 is that you can have an electronic tag inside, so you don't need an RFID tag, you can actually tag it internally on the device. So again, there's a few of the features there. And what I'll do is again, I'll show you how easy it is to actually configure the device. So you can do that one of two ways. So the first way is actually on the device. So again, you don't necessarily have to have a TREX. We can go to set valve calibration, yes. I have to remember which way around this is. I think it's fail counterclockwise to close. Set valve to 0. So we're storing the position. Okay, and now it's gone to 100. Storing the position. No, my apologies, so I've gone the wrong way there in terms of clockwise or counterclockwise to close, so let me think about this. Are you sure? Yes. Fail clockwise to close, that's the one that I need to go to. So again, that indicates that if you do actually set it up incorrectly, then you are able to get some features back from the device to indicate that you need to reconfigure the device. So let's see if this one will work now. Okay. And now what that's doing, it's recording the time it takes to open and close. So again, it's storing some of the data, and that's now fully set up. So that's one way to set the device up. The other way to set it up is through the TREX. So if I remember which way around it was, so we'll do a full stroke calibration. Yep. Yep. We'll do the potentiometer and limit switches. And it was fail clockwise to close. Yes, that was correct. So it's actually the first menu on here, so I'm trying to go back on why I did it wrong on the device. Okay, now we're recording the valve signature. Okay, partial stroke calibration. Now it asks you on this device if you want to do, you have to do it through the menu on there, but on here we'll do again 87. We'll have a 20% tolerance on that 87 and the timeout 10 seconds. So that means that if it hasn't reached the point within 10 seconds, it will create an alarm. You can obviously change that time if that's significant. So it goes through the partial stroke calibration. And that is now fully set up and fully configured. Okay, so what we're going to do is initiate, if you like, an ESD, an emergency shutdown. So I'll close the valve there. And I'll open the valve, and there's a failure come up there, and the failure is that you've actually gone through an emergency shutdown. So if I look at the troubleshooting, that'll go through the alerts and tell me that obviously that's been initiated. So again, there's lots of diagnostic features that you can have with this device, and again we have it in various designs in terms of stainless steel. As we mentioned, we have the DX series. And this is our recent T series. which also has Hart, but not with the ESD PST. This is just the Hart diagnostic feedback. And again, what we say to customers is that a lot of times people are looking to, if you like, upgrade or future-proof their plant just by simply changing a standard Switchbox to a Hart-enabled Switchbox. You still have the standard features in terms of being able to use normal switches, P&F switches, micro switches, Go switches to give your feedback. But when your plant becomes Hart enabled, it's just a connection of these two wires, and that obviously then creates the diagnostic features of the Hart to be utilised within your plant. I'm Mike Hells from Emerson, and that's just a quick overview of some of the TopWorx range. Thank you.